Hello, my name is Sonali Chopra. Welcome back to another episode of Around the World. The Indo-Pacific region has been attracting global attention for several years. Due to this, the importance of the Indian Ocean has increased for regional powers. Here, India and China are competing to establish dominance in their own ways. As a result, the game of checkmate continues here every day. In such a situation, the role of the island countries present here becomes important. Maldives also has a name among these countries. Due to historical relations and geographical proximity, the country has been under the influence of India for a long time. Relations between the two have been friendly from the beginning, with a few exceptions. It is believed that even though the leadership in the Maldives may change to some extent, there is little possibility of change in the fundamentals. This is the reason that despite some obstacles, since the tenure of the second president of the Maldives, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom, relations between the two have been close and friendly. But now there are rumors in international political circles about a deterioration in relations between the two countries. Actually, recently Mohammad Muizzu has been elected as the new president of the Maldives. He had restored to anti-India issues in his election campaign. Also, his alliance had launched the campaign India Out. Furthermore, Muizzu has had close ties to China. This is the reason why his image has been widely seen in the Maldives as a sympathetic to China's interest and anti-India. After becoming the president, he has also confirmed his image through a decision. Muizzu has decided to expel Indian troops from the Maldives. However, this image of his has been further strengthened by his decision to go to Turkey. This is because earlier the new president of the Maldives used to visit India first after taking the oath. Now you might be wondering that when is a supporter of China, why did he choose Turkey for his first tour? After all, what does it mean? Does he want to take Maldives closer to Arab countries instead of India? Will President Muizzu really expel India from the Maldives? Let us talk about these questions one by one. So, India and the Maldives have had very strong bilateral cooperation in the past. This cooperation is clearly visible in defense, social and economic fields. This can be understood from the fact that India has given a loan of billions of dollars to the Maldives. India also plays an important role in infrastructure development of the Maldives. India's financial involvement in the Maldives stands at around $2.2 billion. Both in terms of loans and grants. At the same time, India is the third largest source of tourism earnings for the Maldives. Apart from this, it is also heavily dependent on India for food and oil imports. But now President Muizzu wants to reduce his dependence on India. According to experts, the new government of the Maldives wants to restructure the loans. This is the reason why President Muizzu has turned to Turkey as his first foreign visit. It is worth noting here that Mohammad Muizz had visited the United Arab Emirates before taking the oath of office as president. During this, he was assured that under the Abu Dhabi Fund, the Maldives would be given $80 million for the Male Airport project. It was in this exercise that he now went to Turkey. Now the question is, why did he choose Turkey for his tour? As we just mentioned earlier, the Maldives government wants to restructure its debt. From this, it becomes clear that the reason behind Muizzu choosing Turkey is economic. Now you will ask that when the reason is economic, then China's name should have come first instead of Turkey. So it is true that in terms of economic assistance, China's name comes at the forefront in this region. But Muizzu does not want to be seen close to China. Actually, he does not want to show himself as a supporter of either India or China. He wants to show Maldives' neutral image to the world regarding both the countries. He had also said in his first interview after becoming the president that he is not pro-China or India but pro-Maldives. That is why they are placing more emphasis on showing themselves as non-aligned. This is why till now he has visited Singapore, UAE and Turkey but has not visited India or China. Some experts are also considering his visit to Turkey and UAE as the strengthening of ideological relations. Since about 98% of the population of the Maldives is Sunni Muslim, whereas if someone wants Maldivian citizenship, then it is necessary for him to be a Muslim. Whereas while Turkey presents itself as the head of a Muslim country, smaller Muslim countries see the UAE as their major economic ally. At the same time, there is a deep feeling among the people of the Maldives that the Gulf countries are their staunch allies. This means that ideological support of these countries is necessary for the Maldives. This is the reason why the Maldives has had good relations with Gulf countries in the past also. But it is certain that in terms of relations, the first names for the Maldives were always India and China, which Muizzu has tried to change. However, a big reason for the Maldives getting closer to these countries is that after the tsunami that hit the Maldives in 2004, Saudi Arabia and the UAE have spent a lot on the reconstruction of the Maldives. And at a time when the economy of the Maldives is going through a bad phase, President Muizzu is visiting whichever country is looking for economic help to the Maldives. That is why he has emphasized on the strength of his relations with other countries. But the strengthening relations with these other countries and their decisions till now are being considered anti-India. In such a situation, you must be wondering whether the Maldives will really be able to move away from India. So the answer is no. Actually, it is not easy for the Maldives to move away from India. First of all, its geopolitical situation is such that the Maldives cannot go against India. India is its closest neighbor, so most of its trade is done with India or through India. In such a situation, it can neither give priority to its development work nor improve its economic situation by spoiling its relations with India. The Maldives has to restructure its debt at this time because it has huge debt. But it cannot do this without India's cooperation. India has always provided economic assistance to the Maldives from time to time. Now, India has also announced an additional loan of $134 million for the expansion of Malé Airport. The Maldives cannot go far from India because there are neither any mineral resources nor large-scale industries in the Maldives. Its economic depends on tourism and fishing. Whereas India is the third largest tourist country of the Maldives, India is the main destination for the people of Maldives for jobs, studies and medical treatment. Also, the Maldives has many defense agreements with India. Development work of many infrastructures is also going on in the Maldives with the cooperation of India. In such a situation, if India-Maldives relations deteriorate, it will affect all of these also. It is clear that an anti-India stance is not easy for the Maldives. So it is the turn of Sunday's special episode of this program in which we will talk about other important international news. In view of China's increasing influence in the Indo-Pacific region, America has also started increasing its influence in the region. In this effort, recently US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has met the defense chiefs of Australia and the United Kingdom to increase technology cooperation and information sharing. The agreements reached at the meeting were aimed at being able to better address global security challenges and stabilize the Indo-Pacific region. Under the agreement, the US also proposed to spend more than $25 billion in the Indo-Pacific. This new technology arrangement is the next step in broader military cooperation with Australia, which was first announced in 2021. Under this, Australia, the UK and the US had planned a so-called AUKUS partnership to help equip Australia with a fleet of 8 nuclear-powered submarines. Under the plan, Australia will buy 3 Virginia-class submarines from the US, whereas in collaboration with Britain, 5 new AUKUS-class submarines will be built. The summit of CSTO, that is Collective Security Treaty Organization, was organized in Belarus. In this meeting, the member countries issued a joint statement on the Russia-Ukraine war and said that no state should ensure its security at the cost of the security of another state. Additionally, member states also expressed concern about NATO. However, this conference was not so successful as Armenia refused to attend even after waiting for several meetings. Russia also registered its protest regarding this, accused the Western countries of including Armenia in their alliance. Let us tell you that CSTO is a military alliance which has been formed by 6 post-Soviet states: Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. It was basically a regional agreement until 2002, which was given the status of an international regional organization in May 2002. In the year 2004, the organization received observer status in the United Nations General Assembly. In another major development, United Kingdom Home Secretary James cleverly has signed a new treaty with Rwanda. This agreement has been made to deal with Britain's migration problems. Under the agreement, refugees from Britain will be deported to Rwanda. But Rwanda's commitments to the issues related to protection and treatment of these refugees will be fixed. In fact, Britain wants to make such binding agreements with Rwanda that Rwanda will not expel people sent there by Britain or seeking asylum. For this, it has been decided that a joint tribunal will be established in Kigali with judges from Rwanda and Britain. Its job will be to ensure that any immigrants sent to Rwanda will not be deported from their country. It is noteworthy that the Rwanda plan is at the center of the British government's strategy to cut migration. But just a few months ago, Britain's Supreme Court had termed such a step as a violation of international human rights laws enshrined in domestic law, after which Britain was trying to reach a binding agreement with Rwanda. So that's all for the day. See you in the next episode. But before that, let's note down a question based on today's story. Conceptually, Maldives may appear close to Arab countries, but in reality, it is close to India. Analyze.